So week number 2 of the 2018 NFL season is come. It has gone. And I am here to give you my recap of the week that was in the only way that I know how. And for those of you that wigged out over the stupid jump cuts last week, this week I don't have time to do all that crap, so I'm not going to bother. This is going to be one straight shot, just like sex should be for guys. 15 minutes or less. Am I right? Am I right? Anyways, let's get started. So looking back at the week that was Thursday night, AJ Green once again tore up the Baltimore Ravens. He said, "Who's your daddy? I'm your daddy, bitches." Andy Dalton had a nice game, and they beat Baltimore 34-23. So much for elite Joe Flacco. Transitioning over to the Sunday action, Christian McCaffrey went for over 100 yards receiving. DJ Moore with his first NFL reception, and it was for a touchdown. Hot diggity dog! That's what you want out of a guy you take in round 1. The Falcons, though, also got a first career touchdown reception out of first-round pick Calvin Ridley. Matt Ryan threw for another touchdown pass, ran for 2 of them, and the Falcons held off the Panthers 31-24. Let's be real here. If you were Vontae Davis, would you want to play in Buffalo right now? Yeah, the Bills are bad. The Chargers went in there, handled business. The Bills at least put up a little bit of a fight in the second half. Unlike Vontae Davis, who decided he wanted to shake his ball and go home. He retired mid-game at halftime. Being in Buffalo is so bad. He'd rather lose close to $1 million and not play football anymore. Yikes. And you had that feature game early on Sunday. Vikings, Packers, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers. And that game ended up being everything you could want it to be and more, except for if you actually wanted a team to win and a team to lose. That wasn't going to happen. Another tie. Second straight week with a tie. It sucks to see games end like this. Ties suck, period. That roughing the passer call on Clay Matthews also sucks, period. Hate seeing games be extended by that. But that is the NFL reality of 2018. Kirk Cousins was really good. Daniel Carlson ultimately was not. And in fact, the Vikings, after his poor kicking performance, missing, 3 field goals, left him in Green Bay. Maybe they should have left Laquan Treadwell there. How does Carlson, 2 games into his career, get cut because he was so bad? But Laquan Treadwell has a job. Yes, I know he caught a touchdown pass, but there were several other plays that he didn't. And for a former first-round pick, my ass. The dude is trash. He is hot garbage, and he should have been left right back there in Brown Bay, too. If you're the Houston Texans right now, you got to be freaking out a little bit. You're 0-2, and more so than that, you're 0-2 with your alleged franchise quarterback, as I'll call him, Deshaun Watson, and you just got beat by a team that was quarterbacked by Blaine Gabbert. No other words need to be spoken. Cleveland, for the love of God, you keep fiddle-fucking around, pussyfooting around. Just win a game already! And what a Browns way to pull it off on Sunday, too. You're down 6, 4th and 5, Tyrod Taylor throws a beautiful deep ball to Antonio Callaway, hits him perfectly in stride. Callaway goes over the top of the defense. Touchdown, game tied. Zane Gonzalez just make the fucking extra point and it's all over. And he didn't. And then, of course, the Saints immediately come back, get into field goal range. Will Lutz kicks the game winner. And oh, goddamn Cleveland. They're still the skid marks, but they're not that bad. There's not much of a stain left in those tighty whities. And they're going to win. And they're going to win real soon. This team is a lot better than they have been in previous years. They're going to do it. They're going to do it real soon. The Dolphins swam out to a big lead against Sam Darnold and Gang Green, and they held on to beat the Jets 20-12. The Dolphins are 2-0. Who the hell would have thought? A lot of people thought Buffalo would be bad. A lot of people thought Miami would be bad too, and so far, they're not. Speaking of not being bad, Patrick freaking Mahomes. 6 touchdowns on Sunday, leading his team over the Steelers 42-37. 6 touchdown passes in 2 weeks. The kid has 10 touchdown passes. It is an NFL record for the first 2 games of the season. 10 touchdown passes. Makes the Bears look like geniuses for trading up for Trubisky instead of just staying put and taking Mahomes. But if you're the Steelers, you're 0-1-1. You just got boat raced, really, for all intents and purposes, in your own damn stadium. Not looking good. Big problems in Pittsburgh. I bet they're really glad in Pittsburgh, and especially Steelers fans, that they retained Mike Tomlin. Darius Leonard dominated for the Colts. Captain Luck did enough, and they had a nice road victory over a surprisingly almost half-empty FedEx Field in the Washington Redskins on Sunday. It's good to see Andrew Luck and the Colts get a win. It's good to see a big contribution for somebody like Darius Leonard, their second-round pick. Things are trending at least a little upwards in Indianapolis. You have some reason for positivity and hope. And all you got to say when it comes to the Buccaneers is, oh, Fitzmagic. And I wish I had the gear that Ryan Fitzpatrick did so I could have rocked it in tribute to him. Because he struck again. He's like Conor McGregor looking, not nearly as annoying, and many more redeeming qualities. There's no stopping him! Fitzmagic is real. And fuck you, Minkah Fitzpatrick, for trying to trademark it. You jerk. Arizona Cardinals. Sam Bradford. Really? Seriously? Sam Bradford. Steve Wilkes just can't fucking quit the guy. Sam Bradford sucks! Accept it. Understand it. Own it. I tried to tell your asses, but you didn't want to listen, did you? Arizona. Jesus Christ. 2 weeks, you scored 6 points on offense. You got shut out by the Rams. You can say, well, the Rams are great. Yeah, the Rams are great. But it also speaks to just how terrible the Cardinals are, and in particular, Sam Bradford is. And my concern is you're getting boat raced in the second half. You got Josh Rosen yawning on the sidelines. Can you freaking blame him? And while I'm not the biggest Rosen guy, either one or two things. Either Steve Wilkes is an incredible moron for not playing Josh Rosen at all. Get him time in the game. Mop-up duty, garbage time, something. You either play him or there's a reason you're not, and that should be even more concerning. You cannot seriously go into another NFL game this year and have Sam Bradford as your unquestioned starter, can you? Can you? To me, if I'm the owner of the Cardinals, had Steve Wilkes trotted out Sam Bradford in week number 3, I might not let him coach the team again. He'd be fired. Sam Bradford sucks. Speaking of sucks, the Matt Patricia experience is going well for Detroit. I know they tried to make a game of it late against the 49ers, but the Lions suck. They're bad, period. Who wasn't bad on Sunday, though, was Derek Carr. What was he, 22 of 25, over 90% completions? He was really, really good. But, of course, John Gruden's team found a way in the second half, and this time in the fourth quarter, to fall apart a little bit, and the Broncos came back and won 20-19. 2 games, 2 sacks for the Raiders. They're still looking for a pass rush. Thank you, Oakland. He's in Chicago, and his name is Khalil motherfucking Mack. Appreciate it. Now, I know I've had my fun at the expense of the Jaguars from time to time. And I know in particular I've had my things that I've said about Blake Bortles. But on Sunday, Blake Bortles fact number 1 was this. The Jaguars just got in the Patriots' ass. They pushed that shit in. Blake Bortles was beast. He was dominant. He looked like a real NFL starting quarterback. If the Jaguars can get this type of performance out of Blake Bortles at least every once in a while, they could win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to hop on the Bortles bandwagon just yet. No. You idiots that sit there. Nicky Big Birdie, you can run. All right, talk to me at playoff time, bitches. Then we'll see who's right or wrong. I got a little math problem for you. Explosive skill players plus a bad offensive line plus an over-the-hill Eli Manning. What do you get? 0-2 G-men. That's what you get. Think about this. How many teams would kill to have Odell Beckham Jr., Evan Engram, and Saquon Barkley? A lot of teams would kill for those 3 amigos, if you will. But the Giants' offensive line still stinks. Eric Flowers is still a starter in this league for some reason. And Eli Manning is doo-doo. He is doo-doo. God damn it all, Giants fans. I know you want to hang on to legacy, and I know you want to do this and you want to do that. But this team is going to look foolish in years to come if Sam Darnold ends up being that guy for the Jets in the same city. You're terrible. And Eli sucks. He's done. He's washed up. He's over the hill. Get on with it. And then Monday night, Khalil motherfucking Mack helped lead the Bears' attack past the Seahawks. Although, I can't lie, there's a little bit of trouble in Trubiskyville. As much as people wanted to compare this team, even Monday night, the commentators are trying to compare them to the Rams a little bit. No, this Bears team reminds me a little bit more of last year's Jaguars team. Really good defense that can get after the quarterback. A running game with a powerful back, in this case Jordan Howard, not Leonard Fournette. And a quarterback that will hold you back from your true potential. That's what the Bears have. They're the Jaguars. They're not. Again, not the Rams. They're just not. Now, in terms of the winners and losers of the week, winners, Frank Gore. What's he now? 4th all-time leading rusher in NFL history. He's in his damn mid-30s for a guy coming out of Miami that had knee injuries, questions about durability. Early on in his career, he had trouble staying healthy. He's definitely validated his place as a future Pro Football Hall of Famer. He's not a first-ballot guy, but there's something about consistency and longevity. Frank Gore's got his spot, and he deserves the props that, unfortunately, he won't get nearly as much as he should. Blake Bortles, what more can you say? Over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. They kicked the shit out of the Patriots. Dude has to be considered a massive winner, as do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're now 2-0, and in those 2 wins, they beat the Saints, who were a Final Four team in the NFC last year, and they beat the defending Super Bowl champions in the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, the Bucs are really big winners. For a team that some people thought might win 2, 3, 4 games all year, they're already 2-0, and you're talking about Jameis can't come back in and play. Losers, young kickers, Zane Gonzalez, Daniel Carlson. Not a good week for them and their careers respectively. Caught. Ugh. The Pittsburgh Steelers. You let Patrick Mahomes throw for 6 touchdown passes on you. You haven't won a game yet. You're supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. Antonio Brown's not showing up to the facility on Monday. Le'Veon Bell's jet skiing and shit. The Steelers team is a fucking disaster. And then Laquan Treadwell, former first-round pick that a lot of people in that 2016 draft were pumping full of smoke. He's garbage. Hot garbage. And the fact that they would even consider trotting about on the field to me is absolute lunacy for the Vikings. And that's pretty much it. But we'll get to now the 2-minute thrill. And that is, of course, Ryan Fitzpatrick. And you may know him as Fitzmagic. He's not the franchise quarterback you might want. But he is the quarterback that deep down I think we all really need. Now look, Fitzpatrick has had moments in his past stops along the way where he's flashed occasional brilliance, and unfortunately he's also flashed some incredibly terrible play and some stupidity. But that's not going to bring me down right now. He's got the Buccaneers at 2-0. The Bucs in no way, shape, or form can sit there and consider bringing back Jameis at this point. Why? Why would you take the down step? Why would you downgrade at the quarterback position? I know Jameis is a former number 1 overall pick, and I know this crap that's going on with Fitzpatrick right now, this Fitzmagic, might not last very long. But as long as that pixie dust is in the air, you got to ride the hot hand. You beat the Saints and the Eagles the first 2 weeks of the season and damn well could win week 3 over the fucking Steelers. And even if you don't, why the hell would you want to go back to Jameis at this point? I want to put the fear of God in him a little bit. I want him to know that his job is not guaranteed, that nothing is a certainty. And just the thought of Ryan Fitzpatrick as a starting quarterback potentially of a playoff team, doesn't that sound like so much fun? He could do the crap wearing D-Jax's freaking jackets, talking about the only thing that's his is the chest hair. We need Ryan Fitzpatrick. And Dirk Cutter better not deprive us of Fitzmagic. Because his team needs it. The fans, we want it. And by God, the NFL has got to have it. Fitzmagic. Fitzmagic. Feel it. Need it. Love it. Want it.